Hello, beautiful soul family. Welcome to A Mother's Touch Radio. I am your host, Coach Susie, the PTSD Confidence Coach, and welcome to Living Confidently Beyond Abuse. So today on Instagram, I saw a meme and it said, "You're never 100% ready. You just got to say fuck it and do what feels right." And so I love that meme because, to be perfectly honest, even as a PTSD confidence coach who has experienced 40 years of abuse, mental and emotional abuse, I still have days where I hear those doubts, I have those fears. So, um, I just want to say shout out to Cam and Evan Carmichael because, Evan Carmichael issued a challenge to Cam Williamson and, told him to create, a 30-day challenge and create a journal on how, he went through his mental health healing. And it actually sparked a fire in me because I've been sitting on this workbook since October, November. I created the thing in like October or November, and I was just offering it as a freebie for subscribing to the newsletter. But then when Evan told Cam, to do a 30-day challenge, it was like a light bulb went off. And that's why I love the Movement Maker family, because we all can glean from each other. And, you know, even though Cam and I are in different realms, we're still a family, So, and I am going to take his challenge as well because I know that I still have things to work on, that I could benefit from. We all have something to learn from each other. And so, I was like, yeah, let me create a 30-day challenge. And I already had the workbook. So I was like, well, let me go ahead. It was like the universe was like, do it now. Like, why are you going to wait? Because I was like, oh, I'm going to wait until after, I'm probably going to do mine in March or whatever. Because I didn't want to do it in February because February is only 28 days and you need 30 days. And I was procrastinating. I'll do it after, after in March. I'm not ready to launch it yet. It was like the universe was like, launch it now. You already have the workbook, so launch it now. So I did, and I immediately got to posting about it and advertising about it. And then I got some participants, right? And I got scared. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys because I truly believe in transparency. But no matter how far I've come on this journey, I still hear those voices. I still hear those voices of self-doubt. And I'm probably going to get emotional. But, I've had a hard time believing in myself, right? Believing in who I am as a spiritual being, as a divine queen. Because, when you hear things like, you know, you'll never be good enough, or, your dad, never wanted you, and, just being in a mental and emotional abusive situation, it takes a toll on you. It really and truly does. And, it's like the doubts come up and you're like, well, I've never been good enough for, these people. I've been too much for these people, So who would really want me to coach them? And then I got into this space and saying, like, feeling like, if all of a sudden, like, not confident in my healing journey, and what I've been through, and I know it's a lot of not wanting to let people down, because mental and emotional abuse has you being this people pleaser. You don't want to disappoint people. You don't want to let people down. It's a fear of failure, and I felt those emotions coming back up. And I had my days, but, because I practice, what I teach, it's a lifestyle. It's not, a diet. I don't practice self-love one day and then, The other 4 days I am, without it. I do it every single day, and this week was rough. I didn't want to do any Instagram lives, but it's like, my soul too is just like really trying to get the footing, because I love doing IG lives, don't get me wrong. I just don't want to do them every day. Like, I have this love-hate relationship with social media, and I like to enjoy my days. I love doing Wednesdays, when I have a guest. But I enjoy doing the podcast more. I enjoy doing report radio more, and so if I have to do that and record videos, then that's what I'm going to do, and then go on Instagram on Wednesdays, because I would really like to, I go on, support, like people's posts, comment, and then I get off. So I got my daughter her phone, her new phone, and so I'm actually I took her old phone. That's going to be my social media phone, and for me to do my recordings, and then my phone is just my phone. So when I am done with IG lives, or after I have supported all my people and commented and liked their posts, I'm shutting that boy down. And actually that's a huge step for me, because before I would deactivate. Like, people would be like, where did you go? And it's like, I had to deactivate, because I know that that's good for my energy, and I am a huge believer in taking care of you first. You have to. Like, I can't do the IG lives and pour out to people if I'm not at my best. I can't do this podcast and pour out to people in this way if I'm not at my best. I have to be at my best before I can give it out, right? I have to fill myself up. And IG lives take a lot of energy out of you. You're pouring a lot into people, and people are asking you questions. Like, it's very interactive. So I have to take time for myself. And I think a lot of me being in that space was, a lot of, I don't want, people pleasing. Like I said, I don't want people to be disappointed in me. I'm telling people that I'm going to do these lives every single day, and then I'm not committed to it. So I can't commit to that. I have to commit to every Wednesday, and that is something that I can do. So I'm going to commit to that. But when I was feeling in that space, like fearful and, doubting myself, and, doubting how far I've come in my healing journey, I kept pushing. So even though I find myself in that space, I kept pushing. I kept posting. I kept advertising. I was making sure, that it was up, no matter how fearful I was, because it's like, and Tony Robbins said this. I'm following him. He's doing like a new year challenge or something like that. But he said something very powerful today, and I hope I can read it without my glasses. But it says, the strongest force in any human personality is the need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. And so, how are you defining yourself? So for years, I have defined myself how other people have defined me. Not worthy, mean, evil, like all of these things that people have said about me that weren't me. They weren't true. They called me that, like, for instance, my ex, my children's father, he would say that I was mean and evil, right? Because he would try, he was abusive, he was abusive. And not saying that I wasn't abusive to him either, because I was more of the verbal and physical person, but once I started to heal, and then he started to treat me the way that he was treating, I was like, okay, no, I know that this is not really love. Once I started to actually genuinely love myself, I started respecting myself. I wasn't going to take that disrespect, and I started to value myself, and realize that I was around someone who truly didn't value me. But going through this healing journey, I understand that, he's in a place of pain. He's comfortable. What it say, the strongest force in any human personality is the need to stay consistent with how we define ourselves. So his identity is still tied into his childhood pain, so If I have to be the bad guy for leaving, then I'll be the bad guy. Simple as that. But I'm no longer, I stood up for myself. I finally mustered up the courage and said, I'm not going to take this anymore. Um, and I'm no longer going to react to this. And it's best for us to just go our separate ways. Like I have a growth mindset, and even though I've always, I don't want to say believed, I had this vision of me being the greatest version of myself, but I didn't believe it here. I didn't believe it here because I believed all the negative voices and all the people that said things about me that were contradictory to who I was. And so he says something else today. Your identity is defined by who you believe you are and who you believe you are not, right? And so I believe this stuff about me, right? So my identity was tied to that for so many years. So, I tell people that in my program, which I'm working on now, I'm getting that together, and I'm going to work on that through this 30-day challenge. And I know that is going to help me work on my 6-month program. But my first focus is your mental, your mind. You have to get your mind reprogrammed from all that negative talk, all those negative words that were spoken over you, because you hear people say it all the time. I'm broken. And yes, while your child, the inner child's confidence and may have been broken by pain and abuse, once you begin to really love yourself, you realize that I've always been love. I've always been love. I was just trying to get it from the wrong people. I was trying to get it from people who didn't know how to love themselves. So they couldn't possibly love me, and I get it. They're loving me from what they know. I understand that, but just because I understand it doesn't mean I have to accept it, because I've been in that place too. I've been in that place of brokenness. I've been in that place of hurt and pain. But I turned my situation around. I chose to do that. I chose to work on my healing, begin to love myself, and to love myself and heal those emotions of the inner wounded child back to wholeness, because even how I am today, even with this week and having Monday, I think it started Monday, but I came out of it, but it was like, I'm not going to do those IG lives every day. Like, that's just not that's not my passion. Like, I love being on IG lives. And I know that I'm supposed to be there and doing them, but I also know I'm not supposed to do them every single day. Now, if I agree to go on someone else's channel, fine. But for me, myself, as a coach, I'm only supposed to do them once a week. I can go and join other people's lives, but I interview people on Wednesdays, because it takes a lot out of you. And yeah, you do things from a place of pain, and I did. I continued on, even when I was having those doubts. I continued to post. I continued to, speak about the 30-day challenge, because had this been me a couple of years ago, and I know what that was on Monday too, it was running. Because that's, when fear comes up or pain comes up, I've always been good at running, because I don't want to deal with that pain, And guess what? It's easier for you to just give up on your dreams, right? It's so much easier for you just to be like, okay, you know what? Nobody's going to join my 30-day challenge, so why don't I just go ahead and quit? And I'm just like, no, I'm not, because I don't care if there's only one person that joins. I don't care. I'm going to give that one person my 100%, but I also have to let the participants know that in order to get your 100%, you have to participate. You have to be in that Facebook group, because that's where I'm going to be doing a lot of talking and encouraging and answering questions. Yeah, you can jump on my IG live. You can post on my posts and or DM me, but I might not be able to get back to you there. because like I said, I'm turning it off, but I can get on live on this computer